So if you've been struggling to 1, shallow the golf club, or 2, rotate through the golf ball without stalling, then this training aid here, the Planemate, will be absolutely perfect for you, because it will force you to shallow the golf club and it will also force you to rotate freely through the golf ball. So let's dive into it, see what this training aid does and how it can help your golf swing. So I'm Jonathan Chan with JChownGolf. Let's dive right into it. So guys, let's dive right into it on why I think this is the best training aid out there, especially for you guys out there watching my channel about rotation or shallowing the shaft. This forces you to do that movement. So before we dive into it, I'm not sponsored or affiliated with this brand at all. Maybe in the future, who knows? But that just tells you that I am only telling you this because it's going to really help you guys out there. It helps my game massively. I use this a lot with my own golf swing. It's going to help you crazy, because if you want to shallow the shaft and rotate, this is it. So let's get straight into how this is going to help you. So as you can see, it's a belt, like a weightlifting belt to some extent, and there's a kind of rail on the trail side here with a resistance band attached to it. So what we do is a little clamp to it. We put the clamp on the golf club, tighten it up, and now we've got this resistance between the belt and our golf club. So what we do, we feel resistance and a lack of it at different times in the golf swing. So when we get up to the top of the swing, we're going to feel quite a bit of tension on that band. So that's okay, that's what we want to feel. But when we start the downswing, we want to get rid of that tension. We want that band to get slack. Because you can see, as soon as this band gets slack, happens to the golf club, it shallows out there. So if we did the opposite, steepen the shaft, we're just going to be adding more tension to the band. So it's going to give us the thing we need massively to make an improvement on our golf swing is instant feedback. We're going to get instant feedback of what we've done right or wrong here. So need it to slack, to shallow it. If it's getting tighter, you're steepening the shaft. So it's going to help you to shallow the golf club in that way. I wouldn't want you guys shallowing it and making it slack by just dropping the hand path down. See how I'm doing it here? I'm just getting the center of mass going behind me. My hand path isn't necessarily dropping straight down. Don't want to do it via hand path. You can see it will really mess up with my arm structure. So it's our first big thing. But then rotation, it's going to help with that as well, because if we keep this slack going through the downswing, so I've shallowed it, now I'm keeping it slack going all the way through, it's going to keep me rotating through the shot, and it's going to help me exit my hands left around the body. So passive release, nice rotational move. So we're going to be hitting the ball a little bit better with our rotational torque, so maybe a little bit further, but we're also going to be having the most important thing from rotation, stable club face. If we keep this band nice and loose, slack going through it, it will tighten up post impact into this kind of Tommy Fleetwood umbrella position here, like I'm holding an umbrella underneath or over my head. That's our ideal move there. So if I do one here, you're going to see how it's going to be tight and then it's going to stay slack all the way through to the finish. And I'm going to be in, like we see, this little Tommy Fleetwood type of position here. So great stuff. But if we're someone who struggles with stalling our rotation, what's going to happen? Our arms are going to overtake. They're going to shoot out towards the right, which happens quite a lot of time if we're stalling out our rotation. A lot of a rolly flip release. I'm going to see how this band is going to get tangled up in my hands. I want that band to never get tangled up in my hands at all. But if I flip release here, it's going to roll over and go on top of my trail hand there. So absolutely, again, ideal for working on this specific movement. It's instant feedback. So I just like it because the simplicity of what you need to feel. Tight at the top, loose in the downswing, keep it loose and have that Tommy Fleetwood style kind of umbrella finish there. You'll know straight away when you've done it wrong, straight away. So let's hit another one. We're going to see again how easy of my rotation is going to look here. So let's do this. So again, if you're someone who's been struggling to shallow the golf club, we are in luck, because I have just made a course called the Guide to Shallowing the Golf Club in the Downswing. So everything you want to know about shallowing the shaft, all the different variables, how to get into your golf swing, how to match it up with your golf grip, which is incredibly important. You won't shallow the golf club if you don't know that. and also a practice structure so you can get into your swing. I've got it on 2 places. Thinkified, which is a website, so everyone who's wanting to watch, let's say, my rotation guide on a big screen, you can do that now. That's going to be on there as well. So that's a website. I'll put a link down in the description, and I've also got it on SKILLEST. So on Thinkified, you can buy them individually. On SKILLEST, I've now made my courses only available to my unlimited lesson subscribers. So for the guys out there who have unlimited lessons with me on my monthly subscription, you now have access to that course as well. So if you want golf tuition from me as well, go onto the SKILLEST app, but you'll also get the course as well. But if you want it individually, Thinkified for the course is the way to go. So, okay, yeah, shallow shaft rotation, great, but it actually also helps with one thing, especially for you out there who struggle a little bit with an across the line shaft at the top of your swing. If you have an across the line shaft, you're going to notice how this band is going to get all tangled up at your side here. It's not going to feel great. It's going to start pressing up against your right arm. So for you guys with a shorter golf swing, which is most of you out there have a shorter backswing, by feeling that tension in that band, see how it's going to almost force the club to be a little bit more laid off there. I give this to a lot of students, recommend this training aid, that if they're having a little bit of an across the line shaft for a short golf swing, which we know is very hard to shallow the golf club from there, this forces them again into that position, and then they can make massive gains in their shaft position at the top, get slack, and then stay slack going through the golf ball there. So like any training aid, you want to then hit some balls normally, because training aids will give you a very, very specific feel when you're working with them. Absolutely very specific. So once you've hit a good number of shots with it, you should hit some balls afterwards, because you'll still feel like I am right now, that you've still got that training aid on. So I'm still trying to imagine that I'm swinging with the swing or the Planemate on there, and now I'm going to start swinging quite well, feeling nice tension at the top, and then slacking it on the way down, keeping it slack, turning through the golf ball. It really is a training aid that if you're struggling with shallowing the golf club and you're struggling with rotation, I see no reason why not to get it. A lot of people out there have a very warped view of training aids, and that's because they're getting training aids that have nothing to do with their golf swing. Don't be a training aid collector. You're not a coach, don't need to be a training aid collector. We're training aid collectors for sure, because we work with all different types of golf swings. Get what's specific to your golf swing. If you're watching my channel, this is most likely specific to your golf swing for sure. And one of your favorite questions that you all have in the comments, can I do this with driver? Yes. Do you want to shallow the golf club? Do you want to rotate with driver? Of course you do. Use it with driver as well. Yes, you can. It will help massively. That's why I use it mostly with. I use it mostly with my driver, because I struggle more with my rotation with driver. My vertical force really outraces the rest of my movements in a downswing. This helps get those rotational torques a little bit more matched up with driver. It helps me for face control. Awesome, awesome one to use there. So if you've been on the fence of guessing this training aid, if that suits your faults, go and get it. Go and get it. You're not going to regret it. And here's the thing. If you struggle when you first start using it, it's a great sign. That doesn't mean it's not going to work for you. If you're struggling, whether it's a drill or a training aid when you start off with, that for sure means you need to work more with it. So many golfers go, oof, this drill or training aid isn't working for me. It's just not for me. No, that's perfect for you. Keep practicing with it. It's targeting a weak area. If you can't hit the ball with this, that's a sign you are pretty bad at rotating and you're bad at shallowing the golf club. Keep working on it. Brilliant one. So if you enjoyed this video, click that like button. If you want more golf instruction just like this, hit the subscribe button and hit the bell button too to be notified every time I put out a video. So get this Planemate and you're going to be swinging a lot better.